stingers, are you here for bee story time? Ba-doom, boom, 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 ba-doo. Thank you for being a friend to the bees. Travel down the woods and back again. It's where I work now. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. Okay. It's time to let the bees speak for themselves. Why are we having a bee story time? Oh. Okay, can you at least wait? He's being shy. And he had a request. He said, could you please sing that Be My Neighbor song? Because that's his Beetastic favorite. I said, sure. So let's see all the books that we're going to be looking at today. I won't read every single one, but I will be showing you parts of each. And I'll be showing you my bubble map, my favorite tool for recording things that I'm learning or thinking. Here we go. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day out in the woods. Would you be mine? Oh, could you be mine? It's a neighborly day in the beauty wood, a neighborly day for a beauty. Would you be mine? Oh, could you be mine? I have always wanted to have a neighbor just like you. I've always wanted to live in the neighborhood with you. So let's make the most of this beautiful day. Since we're together, in a way, we might as well say, would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Hi, bees. This is What's Your Favorite Bug by Eric Carle and Friends. Each entry is by a different illustrator. And oh, that's so beautiful. So I love this book and its other companion called What's Your Favorite Animal? I hope they make more, Carl and Friends. I'll turn to the page by Molly Idle. Bees. Everybody knows that bees make honey, but did you know that bees also make conversation through dance? It's true. Each boogie woogie wiggle and buzzing ballet allows them to talk, bee to bee, about where the best blossoms are. I like to imagine that every flower they flit to my garden is a tiny stage with a stem, making the world a better place through pollination and performance art. Bravo, bees! Oh, I really need to pay closer attention when I see bees in the wild so that I can sometimes catch them doing wiggle dances to each other. Could you show us a wiggle dance? Come on. No? What? Okay, but maybe you'll feel differently after you hear some more singing. No? Okay. Well, boys and girls and grown adults, we would love help getting all of the thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of marigold seeds that my uncle has sent to me into seed packets so that we can help bees. I learned in What If There Were No Bees by Suzanne Slade and in Bees and Wasps that they need about, some of them, 2,000 different flowers a day visited, and that a lot of their ecosystems are being shut down, cut down, moved, arranged, pesticided. So a lot of them are having to travel a lot farther to find their food sources. So we have, my Uncle Henry has sent me a box like this big. He grows these and other kinds of seeds with so many marigold seeds that we just want everyone to pitch in who wants to help the bees and get these free, one-of-a-kind, unique works of art to our sweetbriar families and our larger community. So Let's start off with this amazing book called The Honey Bee by Kirsten Hall, illustrated by Isabel Arsenal. Look at this. I mean, the design. A field, a tree, climate and sea. I'm trying not to lick my fingers when I turn pages because that's germs. Okay, here we go. I'm not gonna do that anymore, right? For miles all around you grow wild and free flowers, but then, shh, what's that? Do you hear it? It's coming closer. You're near it. Coming, buzzing, it's humming. A bee! Oh, you want to see? Okay. Yeah, I can see why. And that's a pretty nice bee, isn't it? Yeah. All right, you want to sit right over here? You can see? Okay. Four tiny wings. I know, when I put these on, I was like, imposter bee, obviously. But I am an imposter bee. This is just a costume. Four tiny wings. They buzz and they sing. They're clapping and flapping. The bee's busy lapping. Lap, lap, lap. Tap, tap, tap. Searching, perching. This one. This is the flower the bee has chosen. This is the flower the pollen grows in. This is the flower, its color so bright. Its sweet blooming scent calls the bee from its flight. Such a long trip, it's time for a sip. Sugary, watery nectar. There now, it drills now. The bee sips and spills now. There now, it swills now. It sits oh so still now. There now, it fills now. It's back to the hill now. I know what it means when it says it fills now. If you zoom in here, which I will, don't look at my fingernails. I'm in the woods. Okay? All right. I'll just keep those out of the sight. Look at those pouches. He's so proud. You're like, how do you know it's a he? Well, if I remember right, it is, if they're out getting the pollen. So that, those are pollen sacs that he fills up and takes the pollen back to the nest, and they do all sorts of things with it, like chew it and regurgitate it, along with stuff inside of them to make wax, right? And you know they use wax in a lot of different ways. That's only one of the things they do with pollen. Buzz, buzz, a crowd swarming and teeming. Did I already say this? Flapping, flying, landing, prying. All this nectar, it's ours, it's ours. They work on the flowers for hours and hours until little bees with heavy sacks, lifting, shifting, turning back. Zoom they race, zoom they chase. Zoom they zoom, pick up the pace. And then, zoom, they see it up ahead. Our hive, our hiding place. Watch them arrive. Watch how their hive buzzes alive. Buzz. Now, I learned in some of these books that they don't all live in hives, and some of them live, especially the ones that might live around here, they live in hollow trees and other sorts of hollow spots in nature, like, or not nature, like under your deck in a hollow space. Okay. Our hive. Our hiding place. Watch them arrive. Watch how their hive buzzes alive. Buzz. Where are the flowers you found today? Dance for us, foragers. Show us a way. This page could get enlarged into a giant picture from my living room wall, please. Or maybe our art room. Don't you think it's beautiful? Okay, I'll turn the page now. I can hear Mabel being like, you're supposed to turn the page now. That's my daughter. A dance begins. Waggle, wiggle. The dance is lovely. Tremble, jiggle. The dance goes straight now in a line. A figure 8 is the final sign. Oh, now we know. We know where to go. Thanks for the secrets, and thanks for the show. Now, foragers leave on a searching mission, while house bees march forward with hungry ambition. Here they go. Here they go. Oh, look at this beautiful design work. Why did this not win some mega medals? Maybe it did. I'm seeing who designed it. Anne Bobco and Isabel Arsenault herself, the illustrator. Bravo, Isabel. Choo choo, that's what we do. We suck out the nectar, we suck it straight through. Choo choo, we're changing its makeup. We're giving the nectar a chemical shakeup. Choo choo, we make it like glue. Choo 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 choo, at last we're finally through. Make it thick, make it stick, make it slick, and make it new. But there's more to do at home. That time I was gonna lick my thumb and then I didn't. Retraining my neurons. Like fill the honeycomb. They jam its cells with nectar plaster, then rev their engines and beat their wings faster. Whoosh, they're strong despite their size. Swoosh, the nectar cools and dries. It's getting thicker now. Wings move quicker now. Fan, fast, pump, blast. Get those wings. That's to cool down their liquid wax to harden it so that it keeps its shape they make. Beautiful hexagons. They use that shape because if they did round ones, there would be these corners that don't tessellate or touch where they couldn't store stuff. So this is the best way to store the most, this shaped cell. Tiny, thanks books for that info. Thanks guys. Tiny honey cells are capped. Liquid gold is sealed and trapped. And only when it needed most a hungry wall will these vaults be tapped. I did something wrong there. I could tell because of the rhyme. So, even Beetastic readers make mistakes, right? Sometimes. That's okay. I'll do it again. And now, to keep it safe, tiny honey cells are... And now, to keep it safe, I'm working on my fluency. Tiny honey cells are capped. Liquid gold is sealed and trapped. And only when it's needed most, a hungry day, will these vaults be tapped. Trapped, tapped. It rhymed. I did it this time. Yeah. Outside the hive come shorter days, cooler winds and softer rays, fewer eggs to birth and raise. Oh, that's sweet. With the queen less busy, the hive's less buzzy, and bees amass all soft and fluffy. Come now, rest, join our nest, huddle and cuddle, this winter's our test. Oh, another gorgeous, gorgeous work of art. Makes me want to get black construction paper and white and yellow chalks. It's very peaceful. There's no words for a minute. It's partly why I'm out here in the woods. If all you work at home bees know what I mean. Pop a bud, drip some mud. Creatures stir in the melting snow, and inside the hive, the bees, they know. Hum, it's springtime. Hum, life anew. One little bee in a tree knows what to do. Watch it zoom. Oh, he's so zoomy, I know. He's just zooms. All he wants to do is a zoom, zoom, zoom in the room. And here's some stories. Oh, thanks. A field, a tree, climb it and see from a faraway hive this hard-working honey sweet bee. Oh, okay. Now I just had a new idea. Have everybody just make the best piece of art that they can that just represents a bee, and then write the word bee at the top with the period after it. Like bee, period. Here's a bee. Okay. Now I'm going to do some book talking, but I'm not going to read the rest of the books to you. We're already at 15 minutes. So let me tell you, this one, Bees and Wasps. This one has beautiful pictures. I marked this one just to show you this guy's face. Oh, hi. Way to be cute. And it says, bees and wasps are types of insects. Wasps have thin, smooth bodies and legs, but bees are fatter and furrier. Cute. This is a bumblebee. It has lots of fuzzy hairs on its leg and body that keep it warm. And then here is a page that taught me about why they need lots of flowers. And oh yeah, and I told you this part. It was in my hippocampus. I knew it already. I knew it for keeps. Some bees visit more than 2,000 flowers each day. I'm not going to forget that. Okay. And finally, The Bee Tree by Patricia Polacco. Illustrated and written by her. And here, this is her when she was a child. Patricia Polacco has dyslexia, and she struggled learning to read, and she thought, and some of her family thought, that there was something wrong with her brain, but it turned out she had a very amazing smart brain that could make very wonderful stories and art, and be an amazing teacher and friend and mother. And so she writes a few different stories about what it was like to struggle. And here her grandfather has been trying to help her with reading, but she doesn't really see the value in it. And he says, today's the day for a bee. We're going to find a bee tree. And people say, oh, I remember doing that as a child. So I think this is a real thing. You find one bee, and then you get ready, get set, go. You let it go, and you run and 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 run, and you stop when you can't find the bee anymore. Okay, so then you wait and you find another bee. Okay, let's see. I better let this one tell you. So they chase it and they chase it and they chase it, and it's kind of like the gingerbread man the way she tells it, because people keep joining the race and going after the bees. But it's not the same bee. They let it, oh, I know what it was. Okay. They have a whole bunch of bees in the jar that they captured, and then from the flowers, and then they let out one at a time. So every time they can't catch one, they let one more out. And there it goes until at last they get closer and closer, and they find the tree, and they go in and they take some of the honeycomb, but they don't take the whole thing. The bees make much more than they need. So I like that part where they were considerate of that. And they all went home and they had tea to put the honey in and ate some of the honeycomb. And Trisha said, oh, it's so wonderful. And her grandfather did this tradition. He put honey on her book. And he said, taste. She stuck in her finger and she savored the honey. There is such sweetness inside the book too, he said thoughtfully. Such things, adventure, knowledge, and wisdom, but these things do not come easily. You have to pursue them. Just like we ran after the bees to find their tree, so you must also chase these things through the pages of a book. And then he smiled and hugged her. What a perfect way to end our story time about bees, right? From that day on, Mary Ellen never again complained about her reading. She found it every bit as exciting as a wild chase through the Michigan's countryside, and as sweet as the honey from a bee tree. Bzzz, say bye. 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 Bye, stingers.